Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here. We are in the mighty metropolis of Marnie, Iowa, and look what we have today. This is a true beauty and one that I've wanted to ride for a while. I've been riding the Classic 350 quite a bit lately. This is its older brother, the Meteor 350. It's the same engine platform, but it's got a different styling, a different wheelbase, a different rake, different tank, different all kinds of things. It's more of a cruiser. Well, let's start with what it is exactly first. Let's start with the engine. It's a 349cc overhead cam, 2-valve, single cylinder thumper. Very nice engine. We ran these quite a bit. They're very nice running. They're air and oil cooled, about 20 horsepower, a little over 20 horsepower, and about as much torque, 20 foot-pounds of torque. That's about 27 Newton meters. Compression ratio is 9.5 to 1, so you can use regular gasoline with it. Isn't that pretty? I like the way the engine is blacked out on this, and then the ends of the fins are milled. There, that's a better look at it. See, isn't that neat? It's got a 5-speed transmission, and I've said this many times already. The transmissions on these, I think these are called J motors or J bikes. The transmissions are absolutely smooth. 5-speed transmission. This model has a heel shifter on it. The forward controls with the heel shifter. But I just love the transmissions on these. Very good. Very good indeed. The forks are 41 millimeter. There's about 5.1 inches of travel in the front. That's 130 millimeters worth of travel. That's pretty darn good. That's what the Classic had the other day that we rode. I'm not sure what the rear travel is. It might be the same. I think that's what it was on the Classic. Well, let's stop comparing it to the Classic. This is a bike all of its own. The front tire is a 190/19. The rear tire is a 140/70/17. Yeah, there it is, right there. 140/70/17. It's got a single disc brake on the back. I think that's a 240 millimeter with a single pot bi-brake. The front, I think, is a 300 millimeter with a dual pot bi-brake right there, and they're ABS front and rear. I love that muffler. Look at all that chrome. Isn't that just gorgeous? The fuel tank is 3.6 gallons. It's about 13.5 liters, maybe 13.6, something like that. Now here's the big one, the wheelbase on this. I think the wheelbase is 55.1 inches. That's 1,400 millimeters. And it is pretty nimble handling. I do like the handling. It handles slightly different than the bike we're not going to mention anymore, the Classic. But anyway, it's got the same amount of ground clearance, 6.7 inches. That's about 170 millimeters. And the other thing that this has is a lower seat height versus the other 350. This has a 30.1 inch seat height, which is 765 millimeters, I believe. Also, the weight on this is slightly less weight, and I think that's an interesting thing that they've done with that. The Classic uses metal in a lot of places where this bike might have a little bit of plastic. I think these are plastic defenders. This bike weighs 421 pounds. That's 191 kilograms. And just to throw this out there, it's got a 3-year unlimited mile warranty. 3 solid years. Unlimited mileage. That's just mind-blowing to me. They're supposed to get over 70 miles a gallon. That's what I think I read. 70 or 80. I mean, it's quite a big number. Now let's go over the features that this one has, add-ons that they added to this one. Got my list right there, just so you can all get a look at that. Price of the bike plus the add-ons. This has these Airfly Evo engine guards, which are kind of a unique thing. Now, in pictures I didn't care for these, but in real life I actually do like the way they look. And having rode with them, they don't interfere with you as a rider at all. Has the bar end mirrors, these beautiful Royal Enfield mirrors, and they work very well. Absolutely love them. Comfort seat, and that's a very large seat. Look at that contrasting stitching, you know, just very well done. And I also like the way they did this on the back. You know, that's metal. It's been milled, cast in and then milled. It's very good looking. Again, more of that contrasting stitching. Isn't that just gorgeous? Oh, it says touring right there. Very nice indeed. And then this one, the big thing this has is these GB bags, hard bags and racks. They're, I think they're 22, no, it says right here, 22 liter bags. They're lockable. Let me get out of the sun here. They're lockable. so you can put your stuff in there and lock, you know. And that's what, when I came down here, I used these to carry my camera equipment and stuff down with. Isn't that nice? Very easy going. And of course there's a fly screen. They put a fly screen on this. That's kind of good looking, isn't it? So let's go ahead and use these lockable bags. We'll put our notes in here. Isn't that nice? Look at that. Very nice. As far as the aesthetics of the bike goes, I do like the way it looks. I lean more towards the classic because I'm an older guy, but a lot of people love this look. It's a cruiser. It's got you know, the forward pegs. It's got the set of spokes. It's got these mags. So the tires are probably tubeless. I'm sure they're tubeless actually. Well, let's just take a look here. Yeah, tubeless. You know, the pipe, that long chrome pipe, the just all the aesthetics ooze cruiser. You know, the big bulbous tank. The way they've done everything is just very well done. I can't say enough good about Royal Enfield. I bought myself a Himalayan a year ago last October. I've got 17,000 miles and I haven't had a lick of trouble with it. It's just a great bike, and I expect the same out of these. I rode the 350 Classic, the brother to this bike, a week ago. I put about 300 miles on it and I just fell in love with it. I absolutely fell in love with it, and I think this is the same kind of thing. This has, compared to that bike, this has a lower seat, has a cruiser style, has a lot of different styling clues. This is all different through here, for instance. You know, this has a modern gauge. By the way, let's look at that gauge. So fuel light, battery light, engine light, ABS light. It's got a fuel gauge up here. It's got a gear indicator. That is something that the Classic did not have, and I noticed it. I know everybody says you don't need one, but once you have one, and they're just great to have. It also has time right there. Let's turn that off and start that over again. Isn't that neat? Trip A, Trip B, all that neat stuff. I like it. I like it a lot. It's got the Amal style grips. This is lights, pass to flash to pass, blinkers, horn. The info button is right here. And then something I always forget to point out is there is a USB port right here to charge your phone or whatever. Let's see if I can get a better picture of that for you. Right there. Isn't that cool? Of course, there's a clutch adjustment up here, and there's one down here. Staying up here. Rocker switch for the kill switch, on, and then rock to start. And it's got that classic color. You know, that was a color they used back in the past for things like that. And anyway, and the handbrake right there. Other thing about this is it's got those very nice levers again that the Royal Enfields have nowadays. You know, the quality overall is just superb, and I do like this gas cap. Isn't that cool? I think that stays on the bike when you open it. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about, you know, what to do with the gas cap when you juice up. Very nice. That's really pretty nifty. I like it. Let's put the key back so I don't lose it, huh? Just a beautiful little thing, isn't it? Dropping down here, you know, we got these chrome covers here for the intake. The shifter with the heel shifter. I got to point that out because I grew up on heel shifters, and I love heel shifters. And I'm contemplating getting a 350 for my own right now, the classic model. And I really want the heel shifter if I get one. It comes with a center stand. It's a chain drive motorcycle, of course. And just look at this. It's just beautiful, beautiful. This one has a battery tender already equipped on it. Let's see what else we can do here. Just a gorgeous bike, and it's kind of a flat black. I think, I can't remember what they called this for a name. They had maybe it says here. The color is stellar black. They have a name for this particular model. If you go to baxtercycle.com and go to the Royal Enfield section, they've got this bike listed there. They've got all the features and everything on it. They've also got what it's called on there. It's just a real beauty. Look at that. Isn't that neat? You know, the chrome ring around the taillight, chrome ring around the headlight. You know, just bits of chrome, and just enough to make it, you know, the swing arm pivot point covers. Just gorgeous, just gorgeous. And hey, I'm Fuzzy Biker, and you and I are going to go take that hot rod out for a spin. Let's go do it. Wahoo! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Because it's got good ground clearance and lots of suspension, this kind of a terrain is not a problem. Of course, this is made for cruising. So we had one here at Baxter's. Baxter Cycle had one, I should say. They put knobby tires on it. And we were using it as a kind of a dirt bike kind of bike, and it just performed admirably. I mean, it was a kind of their shop bike for a while, and everybody wanted to ride it. I mean, I drove it to town a few times. Everybody, when we had to go do something, we'd grab that bike. It was just that much fun. It really was. And you think, well, with forward controls, how does that work? Yeah, it worked great. If you are interested in a new or used Royal Enfield or Triumph or a classic bike of any type, get a hold of these guys. BaxterCycle.com, Marnie, Iowa. They can help you out. Let's do a little spin test right here. This has got a slightly longer wheelbase than the classic. The rake angle is a little different. I can tell it, but it works pretty darn good. I mean, look at this. It just, no trouble whatsoever. I love these bikes. Of course, the engines are just absolutely smooth. The traffic is clear. Let's go see what we can find out. Smooth shifting, good sound. The seating position is very upright. My feet are ahead of my knees. They're forward controls. Pretty darn comfortable. The bars are up. They're kind of high, but they're not, they're not way high, but they're high. And you do have to reach for them, but your back is still straight. I like that. I think this would be a very comfortable bike for a long ride. Handling, this has got the bags and the crash guard and all that stuff, but it seems to do just fine. It's also a very windy day. I think I said that already. I think that is a policeman. It is. Yeah, 54 miles an hour. I think we're all right. These bikes are low profile. They're low to the ground, very low center of gravity. So the wind, it does affect them, but it doesn't seem to affect them as much as you think. So now we are heading right. Oh, my fuel light came on. Ha ha! We're heading right into the wind on a new bike. We're actually picking up speed. It's a very comfortable place to sit. I will give it that. This touring seat that they have on there is very wide. Has a kind of a lumbar support to it. Me gusta, me gusta. Something I noticed immediately about the Meteors when I started riding them was how stable they are, how predictable they are. They don't do anything surprising. They're, there's no radical handling torques or anything like that. It's a very easy bike to ride, very well mannered, very well behaved. It's kind of motorcycle, I've said this before, where you can enjoy what's outside of the bike. You don't have to pay attention to the bike as much because the bike takes care of itself in a lot of ways. We are fast approaching Iowa's busiest intersection. Surprisingly today, there is absolutely no one here. We'll let these cars go by. Let's do it. This bike has very few miles on it, so we're not going to try to race down the aisle here. But she's not doing bad, is she? We're going to try to use that heel shifter. Oh, that worked really slick. 4th gear. You can see the gear indicator right there. How about that? 5th gear, 55 miles an hour. Very good. Look at that big old truck. Whoa, Nelly. Beautiful day for a motorcycle ride. Beautiful day for a motorcycle ride. That there is the mighty mini-tropolis of Marnie, Iowa. Home of Baxter Cycle. Sellers of new and used Royal Enfields, Triumphs, and classic British bikes of all types. Plus a few Japanese bikes. And other motorcycles too. If you all are interested in anything like that, go to BaxterCycle.com. Give those guys a call. They also sell, I think they are the #1 supplier of British motorcycle parts, vintage British motorcycle parts in America. Vintage British motorcycle parts in America. They literally have warehouses full of bike parts. And the other thing that I would like to start pointing out is that they have an incredible array in stock of Royal Enfield accessories. Everything you could think of, everything from oil filters and air filters to, well, these mirrors and the fly screens and the, all these things, shifters, you name it, they got it. And they ship, they ship right away. So get on their BaxterCycle.com and order your stuff, and they'll be there in a few days. Let's do a little spin test here. This here is the Derailed Grill. If you ever come to Marnie, Iowa, give those guys a try. It's kind of a bicycle themed grill. Look at that, plenty of torque. Look at that, just pulls like a... That's another thing I will say about these 350s. The clutch is perfectly set to the engine. The engine has all its torque right at the bottom. I have never killed one. They're just very easy to get to go. There's no peakiness to them at all. It's a very low revving, high torque engine. You know, it's 20 foot-pounds of torque about. I think that's 27 newton meters, but it's all right at the bottom. Just very easy going, easy to... We'll ignore that. Easy to deal with motorcycle. Okay, let's get this hot rod back. And there it is, the mighty shop. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit like, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see more of. Okay, I gotta show this off, guys. This is a very unusual motorcycle, and I just got to show it to you. This is a customer bike. Now notice the rims, the headlight, the seat. I mean, they've just done all kinds of really interesting things to it. Now, a lot of people aren't going to appreciate that, but what I'm saying is this is what you can do with an Enfield. You can do all kinds of neat things. I think that's a 500, by the way. This is a Triumph, I can't remember, Thunderbird or American or something. It's like a 1800 cc. It's over 100 horsepower, got loads of torque, and it's an absolutely beautiful machine. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, y'all. If it's nice where you're at, get out and ride. Wahoo!